Hi, my name is Nate. I'm going to pitch you an idea and ask you to participate in something called community caucusing. It's a bit of a social experiment that we hope will put average people like you and I into the driver's seat of our government, where we belong. We are living in a world where wealth equals power. Wealth inequality is so far out of whack now that relative to corporate interests, average people have almost no influence at all on decisions made in our government. The financial elite will keep their disproportionate grip on power as long as they can keep those of us who work for a living from discovering our solidarity. That is the source of power that we must harness if we're to take our democracy back from the oligarchs. By exploiting their control of corporate media and the powerful human tendency for tribalism, the financial elite have been able to keep us divided from one another and blaming one another for most of our big problems. If we break out of our isolating echo chambers and learn to listen to one another and to empathize with one another, I think something amazing will happen. We will realize that our petty tribal differences are nothing compared to the single most important divide that exists in modern society, which is the divide between the 1% and all the rest of us. That's where community caucusing comes in. The basic idea is quite simple. We will team up into localized caucus groups of 30 to 50 people and meet once a month for 2 hours. During COVID, it'll certainly just be on Zoom meetings. At these meetings, we will leave our political party labels and biases behind, bring our most humble selves to this collective effort at achieving two primary objectives. The first is to mine nuggets of truth from these mountains of propaganda and melt those nuggets together to forge a shared foundation of truth. The second objective is to build on that foundation to discuss our various concerns and discover the top priority problems that a majority of us agree must be fixed. The more active among us will likely spend extra time as they can spare to recruit more people to participate. They will also reach out to caucuses in surrounding neighborhoods to share ideas that will hopefully lead to broad agreement eventually on issues across many caucuses. After a few months of truth mining, cross-pollination of ideas, and deliberation, we will hopefully be able to identify a few big-ticket issues that we all agree have to be fixed. If we can manage to achieve those two objectives, then we'll be able to realize our collective power with one last 5-second task. Each of us who agrees with a given issue will add our names to a pledged advocate spreadsheet. By signing one of these spreadsheets, you will be effectively making a pledge that you're willing to replace an incumbent by voting across party lines or voting for another community caucus member in order to get that thing fixed. So the ultimate goal here is to get enough names on these spreadsheets that our elected officials will be forced to do what we say or lose their jobs. It's that simple. Now, I can't stress this enough. Community caucusing is not activism in any way. This is simply something that we Americans should have been doing for the last 200 plus years as naturally and reflexively as breathing. This is something for literally every single one of us age 13 or older. Of course, there's likely to be a broad spectrum of how engaged various people will get, but I think most of us will only be able to carve out the 2 hours a month. We'll never speak a word at any of these meetings, and that's absolutely fine. Just by participating in this small way will make a huge difference, because it's our numbers and our solidarity as working people that is our only source of power right now. So we need you to participate to find out whether this strategy could be our way to tap into that power. Now, to wrap up, let me reiterate precisely what it is that we're asking you to participate in. We're asking that you sign up to spend a couple hours per month listening to what your neighbors are most concerned about rather than the talking heads on corporate media. And at the end of the meeting, do a quick poll to rank the issues. If you become convinced of one or more issues, you add your name to a pledged advocate spreadsheet, and that's it. Please help us find out if this could actually work. Check out the website linked in the description below if you're on YouTube. If you're already on the website, scroll to the form at the bottom and sign up to participate in the pilot program. Thank you for listening.